Hello.
Hello, may I speak to Corey?
Hold on, baby. Chester. Go down there in that basement and tell Cora telephone.
Wait a minute, this isn't his cell
No,
phone?
baby, Corey ain't got his own nothing. He been living down there in that basement for years now. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's phrase of the day is you got a staring problem. And the thing was, I do have a staring problem. Because I get into deep thought and I just start staring and I don't realize that I'm staring at somebody. And people always be like, you got a staring problem. And that's the thing they used to cause fights in school. So if you ever visit Memphis, make sure you don't stare at anyone too long. But anyway, moving right along, today's topic is knowing the red flags and discerning the spirits. When I first got with my ex, I remember going to his house and he wasn't there, and there was a note on his door. And it was from another woman, and she said, I stopped by. And in my mind and in my heart and spirit, I just felt like, is he a cheater type of dude? And I completely ignored it. I didn't care. I just said, no, whatever. I ignored it. Turns out, as you all have heard, down the road, I paid for ignoring that red flag. So let's just go over a couple of things that are red flags. Number one, are they getting serious too soon? Like, I have met guys, and in the first day, they're already speaking about love, and they're talking to marriage plans, and they want you to go search for a house. I mean, this is already showing you that this person is not only clingy, but may have some emotional issues there that they need to deal with. And they're trying to fill some type of void with, I don't know, love. Men, this goes for the women too. If you just now meeting a woman and on the second day she's showing you her wedding dress and she already knows what song she's coming down the aisle to, she's moving too fast, you might want to step back and say, whoa, what's going on here? Okay. And financial responsibility, how are they with finances? And men, don't get it twisted, because I've heard some men who get a little sensitive about this topic, and they're like, women just want men with money. No, we're looking for stability. We do need stability. Like, you don't know what's going to happen when you're married. I mean, come on now. Anybody can go up and down after you're married. But I'm saying, in the beginning, is he showing you that he can hold a job? Can he provide? Or does he sleep on his mama couch or in a basement talking about, can I get twanky about you? Y'all remember that song Blue Monday People by Curtis Mayfield? This ain't that. When couples are bare love, we cannot share. We cannot enter a struggle together. So check how he is with the finances. Check how he is with responsibility. Is he responsible? And is he clingy to his parents? Like as adults, y'all, there are some adults that still be like, I can't make it to that night because my mama said I gotta do this and that. That is a red flag. Do you know that there are still relationships out here to this day that men do not know how to leave their parents and cling to their wives, and vice versa? Is the mama gonna be all up in the business and y'all are grown? And again, I'm not talking about bringing this person around the parents and the parents helping you discern if this person is for you or not. I'm talking about a man whose mama is still telling him what to do and still all up in his life. You have to think about that. She's going to be all up in your life too, and it's going to become a problem because you're going to be marrying him and the mama. And you got to watch how they treat others. Like, just for instance, if you all are going out and he's rude and disrespectful to others, he's inconsiderate. Let's just say someone tripped and fell in front of you all. Is he gonna stop and reach and give them a hand out and help them get up? Because I know I would. And I'm not saying that if he doesn't, he's not the one. I'm just saying, watch out for how they treat others. See if they have a loving heart. See if they care, or do they just look away? Because eventually you could be the person that they're doing this to. Are they full of themselves? Are they prideful? Or do they stand in the mirror more than you? You can't even get no mirror time because they up in the mirror because they in love with their own selves. I've been through this before. So you just have to know the red flags. Do they disrespect your boundaries? You have boundaries set, and you're saying, I'm waiting till marriage for sex, and they're pushing all up on you and it's getting a little bit aggressive and you telling them, no, I don't want to do that. Or for instance, once I told someone, I don't curse. And I would appreciate if you don't, use profanity around me. And his thing was, come on now, we're grown. So off top, that just shows he didn't respect anything I had to say. There's a popular saying by Maya Angelou: when people show you who they are, believe them. People are showing you who they are. You have a chance to look at the red flags and say, I can or can't deal with it. And if you decide to ignore it, guess what? It may cost you years of your life. And also the word tells us to test the spirits to see if the spirits are from God. How do we test the spirits? The word says either make the tree good and its fruit good, or make the tree bad and its fruit bad, because a tree is known by its fruits. So how do we recognize if a person has good fruit or bad fruit? Well, the Bible already tells us what the fruit of the Spirit is, which is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So love, are they loving? Do they exemplify love in everything they do? Do they walk the love walk, not just talk the talk, but walk the walk? Do they help other people? Do they speak in love? How is their attitude? Are they joyful? Because the word says the joy of the Lord is my strength. So their strength will be found in the Lord. Are they spending time with the Lord, which brings joy? Are they peaceful, or are they aggressive? Do they sow discord? Are they faithful? Are they faithful to the Lord? Do they keep their promises? Are they gentle? Are they careful how they do things? And a big one for me is self-control, because self-control is tied to a lot of things like abstinence. I mean, that's part of self-control. How you speak to somebody, that's a part of you having self-control. The word gives us the opposite of the fruit, which is the acts of the flesh. And it says that it's obvious: sexual immorality, impurity, debauchery, idolatry, and witchcraft, hatred, discord, jealousy, fits of rage, selfish ambitions, dissension, factions, and envy, drunkenness, orgies, and the like. I warn you, as I did before, those who live like this will not inherit the kingdom of God. So this is the thing. We're talking about godly relationships here. So is he a godly man, or does he walk purely by the flesh? So if you all don't understand what I'm saying, or if a man doesn't understand these things, it says the person without the Spirit does not accept the things that come from the Spirit of God, but considers them foolishness, and cannot understand them because they are only discerned through the Spirit. So if this man doesn't even understand half the stuff you're talking about, that's a red flag right there. About 4 years ago, I tried to date someone, and we got along really well. They were very impressive to me, and I thought he might have been the one. But something wasn't sitting right with my spirits. As we went on and went on, my spidey senses was just tingling. And if I was a dog, my tail would have been standing straight up. As time went on and on, I just couldn't put my finger on it, but something wasn't right. And I have learned and walked with God long enough to know that if something ain't right, something ain't right. So I just stopped talking to him, and people were like, Rebecca, really? You don't even know it ain't right, and you just gonna stop talking to him? And I'm like, yeah, because when my senses, because I'm very sensitive to the Spirit, and I believe a lot of you all are also, but you might not have learned how to obey that warning. About a year later, after I stopped talking to him, I was watching a movie, and all of a sudden I was like, I know that line from somewhere, and I sat straight up, and the more I watched, do y'all know that this man had read every line? It's like he had read a whole script to me. That's what it was. I didn't know what he was doing, but he had pulled out a whole actor role on me. So what I'm saying is, while we were talking, he was like, he pulled out a character on me or something. I hope you all get what I'm saying. But anyway, I discerned that. I didn't know what I was discerning, but I knew it was something, and it was just didn't settle right with me. When you feel something is not right, even if you don't know exactly what it is, and you keep going to the Lord in prayer, and he's showing you that it's not right, leave. You don't even have to figure out what it is. If you are discerning something that is not of God, which in his case was deceptive, leave that alone. Leave that alone. We have to get out of this this thing of being so desperate and so lonely that we're willing to entertain and deal with anything for the sake of companionship. And then I'll tell you all one more story. There was a pastor. I visited a church, and when I walked in, he did a little prophecy over me thing. And y'all, the minute he started prophesying, like, something in me was going, something in me just would not receive what he was saying. And what he was saying wasn't even like, it wasn't me. God said that puppet you was dealing with, he's gonna bless that puppy to start obeying the training. And you like, I ain't even got a puppy. So I couldn't receive it. Something wasn't right again. So when I left church, he slick got my number. Slick. I did not give him my number. He got my number in a slick way. And he tried to weasel his way into talking to me. And the first thing he said, and I had to stop him, I didn't even let it finish coming out of his mouth. God showed me when you walked through the door. I was like, let's not go there. Let's not go there. God didn't show you something that he didn't show me. Why God told you and didn't let me in on a secret. And anyway, we're going to talk about that later too. I'm going to do another video on the God told me he was the one thing, because we have a lot of that going on in the church, and it has happened to me numerous of times. So I do want to discuss, why do we do that? Why do we just... Anyway, we'll talk about that in another video. But something wasn't right, and lo and behold, I was correct, and I cut that right off. I didn't entertain it. So you all have to know when to cut stuff off when you feel something isn't right. And I keep going back to this particular verse, and I read it all the time, but it always sticks with me. And it's 2 Timothy 3. I'm sure you all have heard me read this before, but it kind of gives us a forewarning on the kind of men that will come our way. And I just feel sad when I see so many women being deceived, like, because they're lonely, then they get with these men that just aren't right. It says, but mark this, there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, which is prideful, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiveness, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of the good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. Have nothing to do with such people. Now, don't this sound like a lot of these men these days? Because I believe godly men and godly women are like very hard to find. I believe we're like a diamond in the rough. So if you're a godly woman and you exude all these characters of God, you're not going to be easy to find. So that your man ain't going to be just no any old body either. He's going to be hidden and hard to find. He's not going to be the first dude that just pop up. Having a form of godliness but denying his power. They know a little bit about God, but they deny the power of God. This just sounds like too many people these days. Have nothing to do with these kinds of men. And it says that they are the kind who worm their way into homes and gain control over gullible women who are loaded down with sin and swayed with all kind of evil desires. So don't be that gullible woman. Don't be that gullible woman. So anyway, y'all, I gave y'all some of the red flags, and I want you all to be a little discerning. When your spirit is telling you no, it's a no. And you know, God will tell you your answer fast too. Because I've met people before and I've been like, dear God, I just met this dude, and he's like, no. And I'm like, hello, no. You got to let it go. You have to be obedient. And I will say one more time, we are in the best position of being single because we have the opportunity to do things over in a different way. So hopefully you all are being prayerful and spending time in the Word and growing to know God so that you can be more sensitive to the Spirit, to the Holy Spirit, and be blessed.